Hi, I'm Lola. This is The Sims 4, and today we are continuing with the Brook Bungalow. Very much a two-story bungalow. Anyways, so today I believe we will get the downstairs finished, and if luck is on my side, meaning time management will go well, we'll also get something done in the upstairs floor. I'm thinking maybe the bathrooms because they seem like an easy knockout, but regardless. So let's start with the living room. And first of all, this little bit, why do you gotta be so short? Why do you guys stick out like that? Let me walk you through the overall layout that I think should be here, which is, you know what, let me think this one through and then I'll tell you about it. Okay, for what it's worth, I have only 15 minutes left because I am baking a banana bread right now. But I think I found a layout. So, this wall will be full of bookcases. This is more or less the layout for the seating because we will have a TV up there. And to kind of fill out this area, I'm just thinking a piano. Nothing too fancy, except this is the more expensive one, isn't it? Yeah, over 3.5 grand. Amazing. I try to fit a bar in here, but honestly, it wouldn't really work. I'm still debating on what to do here. Originally, I was thinking of like some type of art room, but maybe, just maybe, they need a bar. Because you can't have both. But I'm going to let this one simmer in the back of my head. Let's figure out the seating area. Let me see. Can I move this out? Will that look weird? Because I just don't like it clipping into it. This looks very tight. And I want it to look grand. Which is why, I don't know if I mentioned this in the previous episodes, but the reason I picked this one, I don't know, I'm taking the second one out over, say, this one or even this one, because they kind of work. They have decent color scheme swatches for it, but this one's the widest, and it is ugly as hell, I'm not gonna lie, but I think we need that grandeur, and also I like that it's kind of dated. However, the TV won't be. Because I think the frame one, even like the free one, let's see, what kind of visuals do we have? Not many. For whatever reason, 2 of them are of winter. 1 of fall, 2 of fall. Do we have spring? Do we have summer? No. Fantastic. Alright, I'm thinking the northern or southern lights in white, in black. White. The white is the color scheme. Okay, let's go. Now, you know what? Let's do the bookcases first, because more or less as far as seating goes, we have a handful of options, but we have a lot more bookcases. So, let's pull up the walls. Up they go. So we can do this guy. I can fidget it around a little bit so that at least it's even, or maybe, well, maybe move it to the end so at least this area is all free, so it looks a little bit more built in. Or let's try a couple others. Or we can do these library ones. This is giving very much a school library vibe. Kind of modern, kind of just too uniform. There's no way I can go in and fix the shelves with unique items. No, because these books are huge. Okay, let's try something else. Okay, this is not grand enough. These are very short, so hold on. So originally I thought this might be too grand, but the more I look at it, I kind of like it. What kind of squatches do these come in? Okay, so actually the one thing I don't like about these, let's check out the swatch. The 2 white swatches, this one and that one, they're beat up. And so is this blonde one, but not as bad. Like it's on top here, it's on the both of the doors, on this detail right there, if you can see the mouse. You know what? This is growing on me very, very fondly, somehow. This is very fancy. Okay, let me see if there's any other options. So this is our very last option, if I look through the catalog correctly. And I'm also into it. This is very kind of like filling the space well, and it goes towards the edge the most. What about swatches? Oh, these are all dark. That's the lightest one. I don't like this color at all. Like, it's too gray. And we're not here to mix and match. Though this does match the stairs and the floor. But it doesn't match the light wood aesthetic of these items and the white arches. Whoa. I'm struggling. I just keep on pausing and thinking about this, kind of going back and forth. But, damn, I don't like those colors. I mean, actually, for what it's worth, this is a really good swatch. It's not working with this in specific interior. And this is frankly just ugly. Why is there no plain white or light blonde wood like this chair? Why don't you match? Okay, so I decided to forgo the other one because it doesn't have the right swatches. I think this bookcase, it looks better in the blonde versus the white, in my opinion, overall. But this is very busy with the books, and they're very kind of they feel a lot more cluttering, in my opinion, than these. These are kind of gently disheveled. So, okay, we have a winner. I'm not too thrilled about it, but honestly, we'll make it do. That's fine. Okay, so let's move on to the seating. And I think this is a little bit too formal. Sorry, or informal, rather. Which leaves us with this fancy one that has a matching set. This fancy one that also has a matching love seat. I would even be okay with the futon for some reason. For some reason, this cheaper looking futon is better than this one, I guess. Okay, so fine. Let's throw this one into the mix. Let me take a look at all the different swatches and see which one was for each couch. Okay, these are the best options for each. I love this couch so much. It's so soft. That blue, looks really good. I like the details on it. Like, whoever did this asset, 10 out of 10. Like, great job. Whenever they refreshed it, at least. I don't remember what it looked like before. I barely used it because it had limited swatches. But anyways, and because I didn't like base game. Like, the shading on it is just like, really well done. Anyways, these two are slightly different. I think I prefer the slightly muted blue, to be honest. And these two also had two options. I think this is a little bit too busy. Whereas the one with the stripes looks too much like the wall, so I don't like it. This is slightly less busy. Let me try something. I might have an idea. Hold on. But before I go, I don't like these. A little bit too uncomfortable. I'm thinking of combining these two. So let me give that a shot. And if not, then I'll just combine these two together. Okay, so this doesn't look that bad. It's a little mismatched. But overall, this living room is a little bit more intense with all these bookcases, in my opinion. Let me replace them and see how it looks. I'm being indecisive, but this is a little bit much somehow. Okay, I think with the skinny ones, it just looks a little bit less intense compared to all of that. Yeah, just a little bit too much. So let's do this. Let me add the matching chair and see how that looks. Because this, it's not really florals, but this patterned one just looks a little bit out of place right now. Okay, so honestly, this one just looks a little bit too matchy-matchy. I'm not into it. If this was like maybe patterned, like similar to the cats and dogs one, I think that would look better. But I'm not here to reminisce. I'm here to make a good design. an entertaining video. So maybe like a darker one. That's lovely, actually. However, maybe like a little beige one. So we have 3 beige options and 1 orange. So we don't want orange, it's too much. This is one very specific yellow. I'm not a fan. I love this light one, so I'm gonna go for it. Pastels are back in the video. I don't enjoy this. Let me see. Let me look through the catalog one more time, because this looks off to me. Okay, I think I got it. So because this has the beige pillows, I think this works much better. And blues are quite similar, which is honestly very weird. A little. These should not be this much alike, having been such different styles. But this means that we figured it out and we're moving on. So let's find ourselves a rug while I also line this a little bit straighter. Okay, not that one. I don't love it. This looks way too much like the wallpaper for some reason to me. I actually don't hate the blue, but that is way so much blue. But then again, maybe with the right coffee table? Don't like how large it is. I could be persuaded into this. Let me check out a few other rugs to make sure that this is the right decision, because this is a lot of blue. But we still have a bunch of decorations to make, so maybe this is the right choice. But let me double check. I think this is too busy and not in the... I don't like the straight lines for this type of room. I don't appreciate how pixelated this is, and this is a little bit too matchy-matchy at this. Okay, so this is one option. Still slightly matchy-matchy, but what about the green one? It's a little different, but we do have it everywhere else, right? Yeah, we have it both in the kitchen and in the hallway. I'm gonna see if I can work with this. But actually, no, I'm not. I have to go check on my banana bread. Okay, so banana bread was burnt. It was actually edible somehow. It didn't rise that well, but it was the whole top part. Here, you can look at the screen right now. Just burnt to the crisp. I'm surprised there was no fire. Thank God, but yeah, it was not a good evening. So, anyways, now it is Wednesday morning, and technically I just finished recording the rest of this, but unfortunately OBS decided to freeze, and it did not actually record anything. So, yay. Anyways, last night I was going to come back after I made my banana bread and let it cool and all of that, but instead I decided to make another one. And by then it was almost 10 p.m. and I got really tired because I'm just a tired person, like, overall. But all in all, even the second one, although it was not burnt, it also did not rise that well. So I'm not sure what's up with that. But as you can see, I'm just putting out a bunch of tables. I more or less know where things are supposed to go, so I'm just going to tell you because I literally just did it. And yes, I am upset about it. But it's alright. It's the perks of being a YouTuber, right? Right? Anyways, speaking of perks of being a YouTuber, do you like the one on the left or the right better? So originally I did this one because it matches with the shape of that table, but they don't match in color, so it's not like I can say, oh yeah, I need F5. So it's not like I can say that, you know, they bought them together unless they refinished one realistically. But I like that this has a little bit of yellow in it. It's not like that storage is functional in any way. Yeah, let's do that. And you know what? This actually matches this side table. I'm into it. Okay, so yeah, so the perks of being a YouTuber. So right now I am living in Arizona, very smack in the middle of it, as well as smack in the middle of nowhere. I got here 4 years ago this month, actually. It's a whole story. I'll save it for another day. Because the thing I'm trying to say is, I'm actually not American. I'm just white and don't really have an accent. If anything, I have a New York accent because when I was 12, my parents and I moved to New York. And and the reason I'm telling you this is because a week ago, I agreed to move back in with my grandma. So I have still three out of my four grandparents. My one of my grandfathers died 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 4 years ago, yeah. Um, which is a shame. But ultimately, they're all in their 70s, late 70s. One of them is 75, the other two are 78, and like they're not terminally ill, but they are getting
I
older.
just
They are
agreed to
starting to
move back
have
in with my
health
grandma
issues.
so that
And
I could spend
at
more
the end of the
time with her.
day, how
She
often do you get the
is
opportunity to move
75.
back with
My other
your
grandma is
aging
78,
relatives
and my
or
grandfather is
relatives that
also
also just
78.
need some help?
They are
Like
sick,
me moving
not
back
terminally,
would
at
be
least not
me,
yet,
you
but
know, um,
listen, they're not
like
40,
helping around the
and
house a little bit more. Maybe I'll get a car back in Poland as well.
I don't know how many
Definitely has to be
opportunities
on
I would
automatic
get,
because I
to
am
be
not
honest, to
learning how
move
to
back with them
do the
and
clutch
spend time with
uphill
them.
on
Because
a
honestly, I
in
haven't spent that
January
much
in
time with them over
Poland.
the
Like,
last
let's
20
not.
years that I lived in the States.
Anyways, like that, not everything needs to be
So
an uphill
the
battle, like
reason
literally, like,
why I
let's not.
now
But
am on this channel
jokes
is so
aside,
that I don't
like
have to get a day job.
I don't want to get a full-time job or a normal job because that means that my flexibility is taken away from me. That means that, if they do need me to go to the doctor with them, I need to get permission from somebody to go and do that. So, over the next 3 months, I will be putting as much effort as my ADHD and free will let me so that I can get monetized here. My dream is to have this YouTube channel support me financially. And, uh, you know, there's a lot of skills that I will need to learn to do. And I'm overlooking everything that's going on the screen right now. Essentially, I'm just pulling out a bunch of decorations and whatnot and trying to fill the space. Like, we're not going to be adding too much furniture around here. It's just more or less decorating. So just enjoy that. Feel free to mute me for the next 5 minutes or so while I tell you about my life story, I suppose, or my life goals, rather. You'll get the history over time, don't worry. Let's talk about the goals first. Like, I'm a firm believer that, if you don't ask, it's automatically a no. So, this is me asking. Watch these videos, give me feedback. Subscribe. For now, I just need 100 subscribers. I won't be nagging you every single video because that does tend to get annoying. If you really enjoy a YouTuber, you're more than conscious enough to subscribe to them. But please, if you enjoyed these videos, if you are enjoying my little adventure on YouTube, because I'm also learning as I go, by the way. I'm very much learning as I go. Right now, I am doing a voiceover in while I'm editing, but for the most part, I do these while I'm building. So thinking and talking and things like that, it's a thing. So right now, what I'm doing is adding just like a side table to kind of like fill this spot out. But let's get back to the actual audio I recorded while I was doing this, where I started to tell you about my life plans. So let's just get to know each other a little bit. So also, who are you? I'm still not really getting any comments, and that's okay. I have 6 subscribers as of yesterday. So, um, and one of them is actually me, because I wanted to like keep an eye on the channel, like make sure that I can see exactly, like, that's how I found out that in the first week I actually did not schedule one video correctly. I just let it go out. Instead of go out on Friday, it went out on Monday. So, oopsie daisy, like, who cares? But, like, just keeping an eye on things like that. That's why I have one incognito subscriber as myself. But the other 5 are legit, if we don't count my cousin.
who just was, he's a nice lad. So, anyways, what I'm trying to say is, I have big hopes and I have big dreams, and I don't mind putting in the work. I just appreciate very specific working conditions, which are just flexibility. Like, I would like to get better at being entertaining. At the end of the day, that's the job, right? Um, if you're on YouTube, you're an entertainer in a way. Whether y'all are watching this, to fall asleep, so good night. See you next time, sweet dreams. Or if you're just here to actually watch this in the background a little, whether you are just like glued to the screen, it doesn't matter. Like, it's ultimately entertainment, right? So like, that's a whole skill, and that's I would love to learn that. So I actually just finished an MBA program, which took me about a year and a half, and I did it so that I could get a promotion and get a better paying job. Um, but I don't want that. I want flexibility. I want to be able to take care of myself. Oh, right. So, because actually the reason that I started talking about my grandparents is because I'm imagining that this is a house for grandparents. This is a little bit too dated, a little bit too polished, and a little bit too traditional for like a family with two small kids, in my opinion. So I think this will work better as like a grandparents' house. So we do need a couple of toys here and there. So let me pull out the urn, look through the plants one more time. Like, which one was it? Was it this? No, it was this. It was exactly that, actually. And here we had more fresh flowers like this. Because I was like, this goes really well with the piano. And I remember like fidgeting, like, does it go here? Does it go there? Does it go here? Does it go there? I ended up going with the table so that it fills this corner up. And I just love for the floor to not fidget. Yeah, so it's a whole learning curve. So I clearly can get monetized today. But where's the urn? Got it. Yeah, so it's an exciting endeavor, and I understand that I need to make some sacrifices, such as not having income for a while. I get that, and I'm willing to make it. I think spending some time with my grandmas is worth it. Now, realistically, I will have to look for a job, because they do pay well for like project management. I used to do web design. I'm just kind of tired of that, so I would love to do like project management, product ownership, things like that. I used to work with a lot of startups, which was actually quite fun, and they are well, fun as far as work can go. It's just not as daunting as like a proper corporate 9 to 5, which is why I'm essentially taking a risk on myself. Like I said, I think my grandma's worth it. That's all. So far, a lot of plants, clearly. A decent amount of clutter on the mantle. So originally I didn't have that clock because I always forget about them. Yeah, like I don't even know where they are. Somehow they're electronics. I don't understand how this is a technology thing, but whatever. But yeah, so I'm glad I came across it. So let's figure out some of the colors. I already changed this. This can stay white, right? I wish there was a lighter swatch for that. So what's with this swatch? This is like so intensely blue. I haven't seen too many urns, not yet anyways, but like, damn. So anyways, so we have this one, the blue one, which I think might be a bit much. But actually, I also changed the wood to be slightly lighter, which I liked. Of the fireplace, that is. Pink is just too many colors. Green blends a little better, but I don't like that this is also green somehow. Okay, you know what? Something's off. So the ship and the clock are the same color. The urn and the flower pot are also like the same. So let's see. I'm gonna change it to the red, yellow, red, yellow. Mm, okay, let's leave it as it is. Um, but no, let's do red. Anyways, okay. Here I put a little book and I changed this to yellow. Oh, I also found remote, which I always forget about those. Yeah. Oh, okay, so this is where the remotes are. And a taser. And I also wanted some toys, correct? Correct. And by toys, I meant the cars and decorations. Either this one? No. Clutter? No. Sculptures somehow. Yeah. So we have this truck, and we have this trolley, and we have this boat. Like, why are these not in this car and that car? And all of these, and even that technically. Like, I can see, like, this is a lot more to me in line with the ship in a way. Because it's like grander, more detailed, like, sure. But like, why isn't this, or any of those, or especially the damn Yoda, in the kids' toy section? I know this is a rhetorical question. I will never know the answer to my deep philosophical questions, but your girl was trained to ask questions for over 10 years of my professional career. That's what web design really is. Like, why? Why? Yeah, okay, but why? Specifically, what I used to do is called user experience, which meant my job was to advocate for the end users, so usually the customers. It's a bunch of like, okay, but why? But why? But why? To better understand things. I also have ADHD, so I'm always curious about stuff. So I'm always, I guess, by default anyway, asking, but why? But why? But why? This video is going to be so much longer because I'm rambling as I'm trying to design, isn't it? Oopsie daisies. Oh well, I'll get better at it next time. You can deal with it for now. But look at this living room that you can't really see because of the camera. I do think it's coming along nicely. So the other thing, all right, you know what? To hell with the rants. Let me get this finished because I've been at this for 22 minutes. That's a lot. And I will cut stuff out, don't get me wrong. There are sometimes pauses where I'm just like thinking or I'm just like idle. Ooh. So don't get me wrong. This will not be just straight on 20 minutes
of complete rambling or just silences. I am editing this.
Okay, let's get back to the build. I need to leave something to ramble about next time. So I did previously go through all of the lamp options. This was just becoming too matchy. So we have very limited options. Like they're all more or less the same. Like this one and even this one. Like the only difference is the shape, and whatever. And it was just becoming too blue, which is actually why, and I just remembered, I changed these to yellow. So this one, a little yellow in over here where my mouse is. The base is gold. The pink just does not stand out, but at least it's also just not the same blue one more time, So honestly, I think with that said, if I think of something that I might have missed, I'll put it back here. I think I added something here because this looks a little empty, but it will come to me later. The other thing is I want a little book over here. Yeah, that's the stuff. You know what? Let me take a silent minute to think through what the hell I put here. Okay, so I actually checked the screenshots and I didn't put anything there. But now, these plants look a little bit cluttered, but then again, what else do we put here? Not much. This looks a tiny bit cluttered. Or to hell with it and just like move this over. Yeah, I like that better actually. Okay, so to hell with fake dead relatives, I suppose. And, all right, so since this is now my 5th attempt at this damn house, in a way, well, 5th attempt at these 2 rooms, right? All right, at the beginning of the episode, I was debating bar versus easel, and after careful consideration, I actually decided to do a bar instead. This morning, so that's what I'm gonna do again. And I picked this one. It was between this one. Oh, I forgot about that one, actually. I just didn't want I just didn't want it to have the beer tabs because that just looks too much like an actual bar rather than one at home. I mean, you can have them, sure, but didn't care for it. This one is retro, but it just did not fit, so I really like this swatch. It goes so well with the house, but ultimately, this is more of the style of the house. So, And this is exactly also where it was. And then there wasn't a difference between this chair and this also exact same chair just without the top, and this also exact same stool just without the back, sorry. And I settled on those. And I settled on this color? No, I settled on that one. It's a little bit vibrant with the yellow wood, especially compared to this white off blue wood base of the bar. Ooh, yes. Wait, is that too much? I like the blue. I think it's too much, actually. But I'm gonna keep it anyways. As far as window dressings go, there's an option, which I actually thought doing this over the door was quite cool. There's an option to do all white, which this, for some reason, looks very romantic. Very much like a art studio. It's giving like an artistic loft. I don't know why. So I think the better bet is actually to do beige. Exactly like that. This is still quite lush for a sunroom, but I don't know, something about it. It's just very homey, very posh in a way. I don't know. I like it. It's a little bit much, I am not gonna lie, but then in this corner, oh yeah, and I moved the door here because originally it was here, if you remember. I also forgot to undo that, my bad. But I wanted to put like seating right here, which I could do, I suppose, something like that. But if I just simply move the door over, then I can do this, and I can do that. But not with those chairs. You know which chairs? These. Because they have the perfect swatch that matches the whole aesthetic, but they're a little different. And let's see. As far as lighting goes, so again, we have a glass ceiling, which is why, was it here or here? Well, where should it go? Ignore the fact that it just zoomed out against my command. I did not tell it to do that. My mouse does that sometimes. If you've ever noticed this in some of my recorded gameplay, I suppose, like it just usually zooms in. For some reason, I don't get it. I even bought a new mouse, but it's still doing that. I bought a new mouse pad, still doing that. Anyways, and then I just cluttered this up with plants, so that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I was ranting on about last time, so I genuinely don't remember. Something about web design or other. But one cool thing that I did here that I haven't really done in too many of my builds yet, even on this channel or just in general before, is using this as like a plant stand. So a year and a half ago, I started a kitchen renovation. I had to move them all in the back of the house into like one of my spare bedrooms, or actually just one spare bedroom. And my friends were like joking around, like, how many plants do you actually have? If you want to take a quick guess, now is the time, because I'm going to tell you in 3, 2, 1. I counted 99 individually potted plants. That wording is specific, which means, you know what, let me make this bigger. There were a handful of plants that were like also potted together. So I was more counting pots than plants. More than anything. Yeah. I don't have as many anymore. Some of them sadly passed away. During the renovation, only 5 died. And I was very bad at watering them. It was a 3-month-long renovation where I moved in with my mom. And yeah, still have them. And what I used to do, I don't do this very often. I buy cake stands. And I use them as like a little platform for my plants, exactly how this looks right here. So that's why I'm telling you that. And that's where I got this idea from, to do that here. I just wanted this to, you know, if it's a sunroom, even though it has all these drapes, like why not throw in a lot of plants here? Now this is this place for it, you know, to be honest. I don't know what to do with this skinny one. Just doesn't belong very well. So like this little table, I think it can be one of two things. Like it could be a foot stand, which I don't think we have in any of the packs, right? Like we have poofs and things like that, but we don't have designated foot stands, even as just like dummy objects. That's a missed opportunity. That's a shame. Okay, let's see. What else do I need? I need to recolor the plants. I need to maybe put like one more right there, just like that. And I need a rug. So let me pull out a bunch of round rugs because I think that will look better. I also tried this one. Maybe make it small. Yeah. See, it's just a little awkward with the square. And I don't get to use too many round ones anyway. So let me pull them out and then we'll go through the swatches together to pick the right one. I even got one oval one. But that ain't gonna be it. That is too dark. This one. And that's actually a pretty good swatch, but it's a little pixelated to be honest. Let's see if I make it bigger. Yeah, that's just... No, it kind of looks cheap because of the pixelation. How about this one? I mean, some of these are more pixelated than others, I feel. Like, this one is a little... Like, it's still pixelated, but, like, this one's worse. And this is the swatch that we would need. Which might be actually kind of cool. Like, this is round, this is, like, a bunch of circles, but no. Absolutely not. Which leaves us, for now, with this one. Ooh. Okay. We don't have that much blue, to be honest, besides the chairs here. But I think this is a little bit too concentrated. Like, I would love this to be, like, a light blue. But they don't really have one. And again, white is just... Green too much. Different kind of beige. Also different beige. I'm getting distracted. Let's pick the rug first. So this one, this one, this one. Actually kind of also looks nice. So it's between this one and this one. I like this one better. Something about it. Just better. So, should it be this one or this yellow beige? The more muted beige? Well, this actually fits a lot better with the color scheme now that I'm seeing it. Okay, let's do the muted one. Why not? Let's live a little. And with that said, I think these two rooms are done. Okay, yeah, let's, so actually off camera I added this, I added that plant because I was thinking of actually adding this tea set, but it just looked too much like everything else. Like the armchairs, arms, the curtains, even a little bit like the wood of this chair, even though it's different. So couldn't stay there. No other colors worked, so it ended up here. So with that said, let's take a look at the upstairs bathrooms. Let's start with this one because the layout I've already played around with a little bit. So you know what? Let me play around with this one more time with the overall layout so that I know exactly what I'm doing. So that you don't watch me like keep changing this back and forth, and then I can explain to you exactly why it ends up being what it ends up being. Okay, so here's the thing. I like this layout. I think this makes sense, especially if I move the door even further, which gives us this cabinet as well, which means we can add like a sink. Might be a touch tight. And like this door would be in the exact same spot. Or would it? Okay, that's an option. So, okay, here's my slight problem with this design. Is I don't want the doors entering the bathroom to be so far back. I want it to be where they originally kind of were, very close to the actual doors into the bedroom. This way, it just makes the layout so much easier to work with that way. Plus, the flow of the room is a little bit better. However, this is a very skinny, this is just a very skinny and long bathroom. So, in order to keep the doors out front, I can just flip it. But then I have this monstrosity in the middle of the floor. And I don't particularly love having that, because at this point it takes up like it hides the room behind it, you know? So let me think about this for a couple of extra minutes and I'll let you know what I decided. Okay, I decided to keep the original layout that I actually had. It doesn't make me as happy as the other one, but in the grand scheme of things, I think I'll enjoy this better. Because I just don't want to ruin the bedrooms for this bathroom, to be honest. Because it's like 2-to-1. And as far as the cabinets go, so actually, don't think I'll be using this one. Because this is the kitchen one. Let's keep it kitchen. Whereas these are a little bit too retro even for this house. The only one that I think could work is this one because it has the perfect color scheme. And also, another complaint that I have about this game is like, why can't I have a sink in the middle with cabinets? Quite unrealistic, to be honest. Like, vanities come in all sorts of sizes. Why are they all like so skinny? Like, seriously, vanities come in all sorts of sizes, like double sinks. But anyways, do we want a double sink? No, I don't. Anyways, my little rant is over. Now the question is, what style? And I'm gonna go with the exact same style we had downstairs because why not? Which toilet? The more basic looking one, the more chunky one, or the one that is downstairs? You know what? Let's pick the bathtub first. Sure, let's go with the blue. But actually, what if it was this slightly greenish blue that from far away you can't really tell that it's a different color? Maybe in the master. Because this blue really does actually go well with the wallpaper blue and all of that. So with that said, let's keep this toilet so it matches the vanities, to be honest. Let's pick a mirror. Okay, I think this one will do. I tried all the other ones. Let me try this one more time. Okay, yeah, and this is... First of all, it looks dirty. I don't like the wood for some reason. Maybe I've just been staring at it for too long. But it's also like... damaged. Okay, fine, let's let it be damaged. Fits the aesthetic a little more. A light? Is it a different light this time? Same one. Okay, cool. Let me just clutter this up really quickly and we'll be done. Good enough. Actually, this might do the trick. Because I know we have like we have this. This is just too square. Like it sticks out too much. Yeah, makes it look so awkward as it like to walk around it. You know what? I'm gonna try to put a toy on that. Since like the grandparents are washing the kids in this bathroom, maybe. Do we want actual towels? So we have a towel rack up above the toilet, and it also kind of look like sticks out so much. I don't love it. So I'm gonna remove it. I'm just gonna put a painting of sorts. Right, I got distracted pulling out a bunch of clutter. Paintings. Painting. That looks random enough. One here. And size it down again and then change it to the green. Yeah, why not? Cool. Alright, let me find the OMSB. Found it. And let's see if I can cover... Ooh, yes. Oh yeah, and the other thing is, like, why isn't there a toy section in this view? Maybe like a Yoda? Yeah. Some bath toys. And this dude. We can make him smaller. And we can actually put him in the tub. Why not? Boom. Magic. Alright, let me... Oh, it's a she. My bad. Yeah, let's keep it pink. Let's keep that light. We can't change Yoda. Cool. And then for the sink area, can't put a plant. We will have overhead lighting. Ooh, maybe these are bath toys? Won't it? Because I was thinking for the bedrooms, even for the kids, maybe do like a toddler room and more like a teenage room. And the reason being is maybe right now to have a toddler, and that the teenage room is like the parent that moved out and hasn't been totally addressed yet, so it looks kind of messy, like just a bunch of random furniture that might not belong, that kind of messy. Since I just said infant, maybe we can add some of this stuff here. Toddler, whatever, just less than a child, as defined by The Sims 4. Why is the pink and the blue not with the white? Why does this not have the same matching colors as that? Again, I understand these are rhetorical questions. I'm just asking the void, but just let me do it. Just let me do it. Anyways, okay, so one rug. Is this the winner? Let's do the purple one for the infant. Toddler, whatever. And then one more smaller for right there. Okay, done. Beautiful. Absolutely stunning. Actually, not really, but you know what? Good enough. For what I have to work with, this is great. Okay, thanks for hanging out, and thank you for listening to my little rant about everything from why certain things are not certain colors and why I want to go hang out with my grandmas as well. So, ooh, a light fixture. I'll do that off camera, and yeah, I'll see you tomorrow with the next video.
Bye bye.